Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to see how to analyze a truss member by using stiffness method. So there are 9 steps for analyzing of truss member using stiffness method. They are: first step is to calculate kinematic indeterminacy, and second we will assign system coordinates. Then we will draw wheel load diagram for each degrees of freedom or for each system coordinates. From this wheel load diagram, we will get the values for displacement transformation matrix. I will discuss these 2 points in using an example. And fifth step, as always, it is to develop stiffness matrix in element coordinates or element stiffness matrix. Then we will develop a stiffness matrix for the entire structure by using the equation K is equal to A transpose K star into A. After the development of stiffness matrix, we have to develop force matrix. Then we will find out the displacement matrix by using equation displacement matrix is equal to stiffness matrix inverse into force matrix. The final step is to derive the element forces or member forces, or which is also known as bar forces in case of truss member, by using the equation Q is equal to K star into A into displacement matrix. Okay, so let us see how to analyze a truss member by using an example. Here I have taken an example from previous year university examination. That is, this question was asked in December 2019. And here is the question: find the member forces in the truss member shown in figure using stiffness method. So let us see how to analyze, how to answer this type of questions. So our first step is to calculate the kinematic indeterminacy. And we know how to calculate kinematic indeterminacy of the truss member. I have done a video exclusively for calculation of kinematic indeterminacy. If you have any doubt, you can refer to that. So here we can see these three members, these three ends are fixed. So the degree of freedom of these three ends are 0. And we have a free joint. At this free joint, a truss member, since it is a 2D truss, it will have 2 degrees of freedom. So total kinematic indeterminacy of this structure is 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2, which is equal to 2. Okay. Since we have 2 degrees of kinematic indeterminacy, number of system coordinates will be 2. So we will assign 2 system coordinates, one in the x direction, another in the y direction. Okay. Now step number 3, that is to draw wheel load diagram for each system coordinate. So how to draw wheel load diagram? Wheel load diagram is nothing but just extending each members in the truss member. So we have 3 members. We are extending each members like this, and after extending all the members, we will provide a unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate. Here we have first system coordinate in x direction, so we are applying a unit displacement in this direction. Okay, so let us say I'm naming these members as A, B, C. So if I give a name O to this point, if I apply unit displacement, this point get displaced to A. So we have OA is equal to 1. Now from the point A, I will draw a perpendicular to each extended members. Okay, so I'm drawing 2 perpendiculars to each extended members. These angles are 90 degree. Now we have to calculate the length of each member up to the perpendiculars. That is length of the extended member up to the perpendicular point of perpendicularity. So we have, if C is this one, I can say this is C dash. Since this is A member, I am naming it as A dash. So we have to calculate OC dash, OA dash and OA. Okay. So in drawing the below diagram, we just have to see the values, whether it is positive or negative. We just have to bother about the sign. That is, if we are measuring this length along the extended member, it will be taken as positive. If it is measured along the member, that is backward direction, it will be taken as negative. So in this figure, I can say we have A, B, C, three members, say A, B and C, and the length will be OA dash, O, here it is OA, and for C it is OC dash. Now I have to calculate these length. Okay, so these length will be taken as the displacement transformation matrix elements of the displacement transformation matrix. So for first system coordinate, when I apply unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate, what are the distance that measured along the extended members of each truss member when we draw a perpendicular from unity of when we draw a perpendicular from the point A. Okay, so here we have OA dash, which is this distance. Since these two angles are 45 degree, the angle between these two lines will also be 45 degree. So I can write this one is also 45 degree and this one is also 45 degree, and the length is 1. So when I consider the triangle OAA dash, I can write cos 45 is equal to cos 45 is equal to OA dash divided by OA, and we know OA is unity, so OA dash divided by 1 is equal to cos 45, or OA dash is equal to cos 45. Cos 45 value is 0.707. So this distance is 0.707. So this distance is 0.707, and similarly OC dash will also be 0.707. So the elements in the displacement transformation matrix, when I apply unit displacement in the direction of first system coordinate, will be 0.707, and for B it is unity, since the length of OA is unity, and for OC dash is also 0.707. Clear? Okay, now we will draw another Villiard diagram for second system coordinate. In second system coordinate, we are applying a unit displacement in this direction. So when I extended all the members like this, and I'm drawing perpendicular from the unit length, so I'm naming it as OA here. Here we have A, B, C, and this is OA dash, B dash and C dash. So I'm drawing perpendicular to extended member of, this is A dash and this is C dash. Okay, extended member of member A, that is I will draw perpendicular to the line OA dash, and I draw perpendicular to OB dash, but since it is coinciding in this point O itself, and I draw perpendicular to OC dash, but since OC dash is in this direction, but I can draw only perpendicular to this line, so this length OC dash, this length OC dash, C double dash, let me say this is C double dash, so OC double dash will be taken as negative since it is measured in the opposite direction of OC dash. Okay, so we have to measure OA dash, OA dash, OB dash and OC double dash. Here we have OA dash, OB, length of Billiard diagram for member A, member B, member C are OA dash, OB dash. Here OB dash, it will coincide at O itself, so we can say it is 0. And for OC dash, it is coming at OC double dash. Since we cannot draw a perpendicular from this point to this line, so we are drawing perpendicular to this member force, which will coincide at C double dash. Okay, so OA dash, length of OA dash, which is also this is also 45 degree, since the total angle is 90 degree and we have 45 degree here, so this will also become 45 degree, and similarly this is also 45 degree. So we have the length OA dash is 0.707. Since it is measured along the extended line itself, it is positive. And OB dash, since the line coincide the BB dash, when I draw a perpendicular from point A to BB dash, it will coincide at O, which can be measured as 0. And when I draw a perpendicular to C dash line, it will coincide at C double dash. And since it is in the opposite direction of the extended line, it is taken as minus 0.707. Okay, so all the values are obtained. I hope you understand how we take the signs. If the length is measured along the extended line, it is taken as positive. If the length is measured opposite to the extended line, it is taken as negative. Okay, so here we are going to find out the displacement transformation matrix. We have both figure. When I apply unit displacement in direction of first system coordinate, and when I apply unit displacement in the direction of second system coordinate, what are the length of ABC, extended values of ABC? Here we have 0.707 and 0.707, and here we have 1. Here for ABC, A extended value was 0.707, at B it was 0, and at C it was minus 0.707. So let me write the displacement transformation matrix. First system coordinate and second system coordinates are 0.707, 1.707 and 0.707, 0 and minus 0.707. So this is how we develop displacement matrix by using displacement transformation matrix by using Billiot diagram. Okay, now we may be using A transpose. I am just writing down the A transpose here. Now let us move to the fifth step, that is to form element stiffness matrix. Here we have only a simple equation, that is K star is equal to AE by length of the member. Here AE and length of the members are not known, so let us take all as AE by L itself. So we can write K star for the member A is AE by L, K star for member B is AE by L, and K star for member C is also AE by L. So the total element stiffness matrix of the structure is AE by L, will be kept in the diagonal position. So when I take it outside, it will be a unit matrix into AE by L. Okay, so this is the element stiffness matrix of the structure. Now the step number 6, we have to develop the stiffness matrix of the structure. So stiffness matrix means K is equal to displacement transformation matrix transpose into element stiffness matrix into displacement transformation matrix. So we have K as this. So K is equal to AE by L into 2001. We may be using K inverse, so I am just finding out the K inverse, that is inverse of L A by L, that is 1 by L by AE into 1 by determinant matrix, that is 1 by 2 into, just for finding out the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix, we know it is to just swap the diagonal values. So we have the K inverse as L by AE into 1 by 2, 100. Now to develop force matrix, we will take the force matrix as in for first system coordinate, the force was 50 kilonewton, and in the direction of second system coordinate, it is 100 kilonewton. So we have 50 and 100. Sorry, it is Newton. For 50 Newton and 100 Newton. These are the force metrics. And eighth step is to develop displacement matrix. That is delta is equal to K inverse P. We just have to multiply K inverse and P. We will get it as L by AE into 25 by 100. Okay. So this is the displacement matrix. And the final step, that is to find out the bar forces, member forces. So we will multiply element stiffness matrix of the structure into displacement transformation matrix into displacement matrix. So by multiplying all these metrics, you will get the member forces in each members. Okay. So this is how to analyze a truss member by using stiffness method. I hope it is very clear. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can comment on this video.